So, as like young kids though, has this been something that you or your members have always aspired to do?
I don't know. We all, yeah, Verman, he's been DJing for like 20 years. He's been on radio for 14 years. So
Yeah.
I think it's always something he's wanted to do. He grew up with turntables in his hand. Jay Spliff, Pro, and me, we didn't know what we wanted to do. It was more just we loved music. We loved it as a hobby. Our iPod, we would, our iPods had everything. We loved rock music, dance music, hip hop. We just mostly followed it as a passion. Not sure. I was interning at a record label. I used to intern at Arista Records for a few years, intern at Interscope Records, kind of learned the business from the inside out and realized that I loved working on these projects so much that I wanted to do it myself instead of working on other people's. And I find that a majority of people working in the industry are want to pursue it themselves as well, whether it be publicists, music video directors. They all have that passion to be the artist as well in their own sense. So it's we just ended up one day taking a leap of faith, and now I think it's starting to work out.
Yeah, definitely. So was there somebody in your life that like inspired you?
Yeah, actually I was working at Circuit City installing car stereos, and because I love music, and I was like, if I can't make music, I'm gonna install car stereos because it's the best way to hear your music, just turn it up loud. And this dude came in this car, really nice car, and he had all these CDs in his car. I'm like, dude, what do you do? He's like, man, I work at Arista Records. I work in entertainment. And he, right then and there, I was like, dude, I want to do what he's doing, or I want to be in music somehow. So I was like, yo, man, like, you ever need help? Like, need an intern or anything? And he's like, yeah, why don't you come by the office? Let me give you my number and all that. Let's set it up. He gave me his number, and he never followed up. So I was like, man, I'm not going to let him crush my dream. So I looked up in the yellow pages, because I wasn't too internet savvy. I didn't even use a computer until music. So I went in the yellow pages and looked up Arista Records, and I called, and I was like, well, I know a little bit about getting a job. So I called him like, hi, I'd like to speak to human resources. I would like to intern for your company. I came wearing a suit, went in, and got an internship right away. So he was kind of my inspiration that you can do it on your own, and you can do it. At the same time, he inspired me to even look into it. So.
Even though he never got back to you.
Exactly, but I'm
did
not.
Did you see him?
I did. He saw me around the office every day and was thinking, "Dang, how did this kid get in?" Yeah, but I always kept it cool, because one thing you never want to do is burn a bridge, no matter what.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know
and
I mean?
People are busy and
yeah,
stuff.
they're busy.
So.
I just wanted to. Yeah, and I think he was impressed that I went out and got it on my own. So.
Awesome. Yeah. So, what artists inspire you the most in the past and currently?
In the past, well, I could kind of speak for the group because we have similar tastes. Jay Spliff was heavily influenced just by, growing up in LA. So whatever was on the radio, he had Snoop, Dogg Pound, Dr. Dre, all the classic West Coast stuff. Tupac, Biggie. I mean, we kind of come from that era of hip hop. Far Side. As music started changing, our tastes have changed. So, I was really getting into a lot of rock. I mean, whether from back in the day to like Smashing Pumpkins, Guns N' Roses, to more new school stuff. You got Killers, Muse, Blink-182, just whatever is reaching the mainstream is what's influenced. Nowadays, over the last 4 years, I don't want to say we were heavy ravers, even since like 1999, 2000, 2001. I don't even want to say that, but we like to, we love listening to techno and rave DJs, and so I was always a huge like Testo, Paul Van Dyke fan, or everybody. And one day we actually had a meeting at Sony with a record executive, and we met the manager of DJ Testo, which was huge.
That is huge.
Yeah, and she gave us like some DJ Testo tracks. I was like, yo, why don't you guys try doing something over this? And we never was able to release them because I think those tracks went to 3 6 Mafia, but it was an honor that she even thought of us to lace them. So yeah, that's a huge influence too. We're all over the board because like
everything.
Music these days, and the music listener is really undefined. You know what I mean? Top 40 radio, your iPod. I mean, you have your niche listeners, but overall, like a mainstream listener doesn't let a genre define them and their taste. They kind of define the playlist themselves, and the variety really adds character to an individual and what a person listens to. So, you know, our music kind of represents that in a sense.
So, with so many, you know, artists in this music industry now, do you find it hard to stay original and true to your roots?
No, we kind of utilize everyone that's in the game as inspiration. Like every time I hear a new song from, I mean, it's funny because I can kind of consider them as our friends in the game, but like I'll hear a new song from your boy that just hit the newer 2 or LMFAO, and that'll totally inspire us, you know, and they kind of open the doors for us in a sense. We had 2 songs on the radio a few years back, but when we wanted to do the newer stuff, the dance stuff, LMFAO really opened up the door for people to digest FM doing Girls on the Dance Floor. If it wasn't for like a song like I'm in Miami Trick and it really taking off here in LA, people, if they were to hear Girls on the Dance Floor, they'd be like, what's this weird song? It makes no sense.
Like
it's
electronic
not even rap.
sounding.
Yeah. But because people were so used to something as out there as LMFAO, they were like, oh, this FM stuff is cool. It works. I understand it. You know what I mean? So really, we never see it as difficult. We always see it as inspiration. And the more people continue to break the doors and the more newer groups out there, I think it's just opening the doors for us and in the scene. You know, as long as it doesn't get played out.
Yeah, of course.
We don't want it to get played out.
Well, it's great that you look at it with an open mind, for sure.
Oh, we try to, and we end up now doing like a 50-city tour with LMFAO, and a lot of these others are new artists. So it's kind of like an opportunity for us. They've created an opportunity for us. So hopefully more will keep coming, and we can keep on touring with them.
Awesome. So are there any more other artists that you would like to work with that you haven't gotten a chance to? I think at Powerhouse we were performing right before, opening for Black Eyed Peas and Jay-Z, and excuse me, I just burped. Wouldn't mind like throwing like a demo CD to like Jay-Z, but yeah, he had like this like presidential security around him, so at most I was like, yo, what's up, Jay-Z? What's up? That's about it. But Can't
I think
really talk to him.
any artist that I'm a fan of, like, you know, Kanye West, I think that's all like the dream, like Daft Punk, you know, I mean, the standard people that I think everyone would die to work with, we would love to. Outkast. Yeah. But for now, I'm really happy we've been able to work with who we've been able to work with. Our new single, produced by Stereotypes, who've done amazing production for Nina Sky, Danity Kane, a lot of crazy artists. We have Your Boy on there, who had that song We Run LA. We're working on getting a collab with Pitbull, which is in the works, and a few other great artists. So, I mean, you know, we're always open, and we don't want to let our collabos define our music. So we try to make sure we have a sound set and a vision set before we do the collaboration. That way, it's that artist doing something on an FM record, and it allows us to keep our identity. Since we're new, you know. Say I party all day.